Hello guys, and welcome back to some little war game. In preparation for the tournament, today I'm going to be going over how to play some Mech. In this game we're going to see Rynus with the Mech in the top left, and EpicPants with Rax in the bottom right. It's actually going to be the second time I record this game. First time I accidentally had the audio off. That was fun. So right off the bat, it's going to be pretty slow going on. We're going to see some pretty standard builds with a house followed by a unit production building. And here we go. House is going down. Some banter being exchanged between EpicPants and Rynus. Just going to turn the volume down a little bit. I'm also going to speed it up at times. This was, I want to say, a 20-minute game. I'm going to try to focus primarily on what the players do, and whether or not I view it as good or bad. We can see that both players are trying to get the kind of wall getting up here, in case either one tries to be super aggressive. This wall stops the opponent from being able to go in. I'm just going to slow it down here. So we have a Gatling gun coming out from Rynus initially, scouting for proxies. Meanwhile, EpicPants got a raider out, and he's getting a second raider out. He's going to try to get some early damage done with them. Whenever you're playing as Rax, this is a pretty safe way to go about it. On some damage. And we can see that Rynus is now putting his house down. I'd actually like to take a second just to pause and look at this specifically. So, essentially what Rynus has done here, he's made it so he can get around how you would usually counter a raider. Where the raider would usually either attack and kill the Gatling gun, or the workers would start to repair the Gatling gun, so the raider would have to teleport past the Gatling gun and kill the worker. With this wall set up here, he has enough gap where the Gatling gun can fit in, and he can mineral walk right past the Gatling gun and be on the other side so the raider can't kill it, effectively making it so neither the worker or the Gatling gun can die before the raider dies. Very smart thing to do and a very good way to get an early defense over here. Meanwhile, we still don't have this second castle from EpicPants, but he's kind of gotta go down for the aggression. And you can actually see that castle going up now. Another thing to note is both players have this gap. They have a one-tile gap in case they need to move workers and some people from the normal route. We do see, right over here, he was able to actually kill the worker, but under most circumstances you wouldn't be able to get that kill. And even with that, it does require a lot of focus on the micro ends. We do see a second raider coming down here, but we also see a second Gatling gun. Another worker down. He is going to have to pull out with the raiders though. But you can actually see, because of that, both players are going to be getting their castles done at around the same time, despite Rynus putting it down maybe 10 seconds sooner. We look at the worker count, it's 12 to 14. So just overall, EpicPants handled that very well, getting a lot of early damage done. But you can see where he has a raider that's almost dead and a raider with some damage. Rynus has full health Gatling guns due to the fact that he can repair. And we can see right here he's trying to bait Epic to fight over the worker lines. Since he has 3, he was able to get one of the workers around and be able to kill off this worker in the workshop. These workers are just sitting there for the moment, and by leading with them, he's exposing these workers. Try to harp on that. Meanwhile, we do have worker moving forward, scouting. Just trying to get some extra damage. The raider does go down over here, and it seems like this bird was made by accident. Another thing I didn't comment on yet was this mill. The mill makes it so you can have gyros. Gyros are excellent for vision, they're excellent for scouting, they can chase down airships, but more than anything, they give something that the enemy now has to react to. If they don't react, they run the risk of you going mass gyro, and all of a sudden, their army could be very ineffective against them. Not to mention, you can do drive-bys and potentially kill many workers at very low risk and cost. Gyros are also extremely fast, so they can chase down the opponent. We do see that Rynus is pretty bad in terms of supply cap, though. What EpicPants is doing here is he's trying to get archers. It's a very nice transition from the Raider start, but this gyrocraft is going to go around stuff. That's weird, it's not letting me select that. I'm gonna have to look at that after. It wasn't letting me select that for a while. Interesting. Again with the supply block. Rynus keeps getting hit by that. Overall, we got 5 Gatling guns and a gyro versus 2 raiders and 8 archers. Neither side is really poised to be able to do an assault. Both players are trying to keep their scouting information up to date, though. And we can see a second gyrocraft coming down. And with this, Rynus is going to be able to see that Epic is moving his army out, and he's going to respond in kinds as he goes to make another castle. But this raider over here is going to be able to see that worker, potentially take him out. Raiders past the very early game tend to lose a lot of their functionality, so you want to try to use it to steal a few workers here and there, especially the ones trying to go for expansions. Meanwhile, there's a fight going on here, and we can see the fact that Gatling guns are so much faster, they're able to get most free shots as the Rax and Rynus run away. Sure, the Rax can try to counterattack, but then they have to wait for reinforcements to come back. Meanwhile, that raider up here did die to the gyrographs. I'm going to speed the game up for just a little bit. So, the name of the game for Rax players, just a sec. We can see that this air contingency is going to go down. It's going to attack the workers again, distract him. He's forced to pull some of his army back. I think this is a bit of an overreaction, but he does rectify that a little bit. But basically, when you're doing Rax versus Mech, as the Rax player, you cannot let the Mech player get a full army, especially with catapults. They're able to just get so much damage out of it that it can be really devastating. Looks like this raider may well get chased down, I'm sure he is. But essentially, you want to do whatever you can to damage the Mech player's economy. Once again, looking at workers is 23 to 29. Since if they can get a massive ball of catapults, it's just going to be extremely hard to trade against them. Depending on the level of upgrades, they could two-shot your units, whereas you need an entire group of archers just to kill single catapults. Not to mention they have splash, so it makes it all the harder. So in order to trade effectively, you need to try to reduce the total size of the Mech player, whether that's from drops or a mage or priests within this. It's just very hard to come back after they reach critical mass. Contrarily, as the Mech player, you basically need to play not necessarily defensive, but you have to be careful going on. We can see a 4th castle coming up from EpicPants. Just came to that for a second. It's only 2 barracks versus 2 workshops and gyro from but we can already see catapults, especially with repair. Each worker, I believe, can repair, I want to say 5 or 10 HP per second. And we can see splash damage is really good damage. Our workers are dying. We have a lot of workers. We also have a parachute, and this is going to be for doing catapult drops. I believe with plus 2 for your damage, you're able to kill an entire line of workers with 2 catapults before they even get alerted that you're there, forcing the players to constantly be watching the map if they don't want to lose an entire line of workers, especially where they're condensed between buildings, like in EpicPants' main. We can see though that the Rax player is trying to stay one base ahead, but unfortunately he's not able to do that eco damage because he has to deal with this giant ball of death. We also see some more production coming down from Rynus. Now that his economy can finally sustain building more, he's going to keep spending more and more on production so he never floats. In the early game, you definitely want to put a focus on Gatling guns as the mech player. As catapults, sure they deal a lot of damage, but they do have that minimum range, making it very hard to only have one or two, because even archers can just run up to it, shoot it, and force you to move away, and they can even then dodge your things. That's why more catapults the better. We saw that that damaged archer was there to scout to see when the attack was coming. Meanwhile, there was a drop over here. I'm having trouble selecting things, it seems. I'll have to fix that afterwards. But EpicPants was able to scout out that this attack was on the way. He is keeping this airship nearby. If I could select, I'd be deadly. We can see Epic is trying to fan out his army. He wants to be as large as possible. As another thing to note, we can see that Rynus has his entire units of Gatling guns off to the right side here, where the enemy would have to chase him down. Meanwhile, he has the catapults on the far left side here, but most importantly, he has the caltrops on the left side. So let's say EpicPants were to try to get around and attack the catapults from this left side that's seemingly open. All of a sudden, all of his units get slowed a lot down and are free pickings from the catapults. We also have workers with this, and when the workers are not attacking, they have a attack priority. You can see some units are now getting slowed down here, blocking other units, just causing a bad time all around. Looking at upgrades, so far it's just a speed upgrade, and again, something to finish for EpicPants. If you look at the last material here, you can see that Tounarmanet is truly slightly more efficient, but he is behind resources. You have a bigger catapult, and we can see that a slightly smaller population army was able to deal with that. EpicPants did push back Rynus, but at a cost. We can see this aircraft here going around. It still has two pretty low health catapults. Rynus is going to decide not to push forward, instead pull back a little bit. Meanwhile, EpicPants with his 6 birds is able to quickly rebuild the army. Almost on par with Rynus' mount. But again, right here, this death ball, this is what you don't want to have to fight as a player. This does demonstrate the one downside of playing as Mech. Your catapults don't instantly deal damage, and you could potentially damage your own stuff if you're chasing them, but it does look like EpicPants is going to be able to come by and take out this 4th base, which is going to be huge for Epic. Denying any kind of economy to Rynus is what he really needs to do. Sure, he's getting 600 more resources per minute, but that's only 50% more. If he's losing twice as much each engagement, then he's still losing out overall. You can see this massive blob of catapults. So he'll just deal massive amounts of damage. His house will die before he even cancel it. You just have to be extremely careful with fighting this. If you have your massive units and you're attacking them, your guys are going to die a lot faster than the enemy. Also, as a fun fact about Mech, each of the Gatling guns actually takes up 3 population, whereas each of the Rax units takes up 2. So for 95 you're getting 3 population, instead of 85 you're getting 2 population. It means that Mech will have a smaller output, but they're going to be able to max out their pop sooner and focus more on upgrades. It's overall a downside to the Mech, but it means they aren't spending as much to mass up things before they go to attack. Rynus is not making too much use of caltrops over here. If he were to put more caltrops down, he'd be able to scout out to see where his opponent is. We do have catapults in the top right over here, and it does look like Epic is going to again push. Again, this is what you need to do. You have to constantly push and attack the mech bases. See this worker 4 HP trying to build that castle, but in response to Epic's attack up here, this is going to continue to push out of the advantage. See, buildings absolutely melting. He doesn't have any damage upgrades yet, but he does have one on the way. Meanwhile, Rax and Rynus has custody. There's a catapult just chilling up here. So, there's but as we can see here, again, due to the massive amounts of damage catapults can deal out, where the Rax player was able to kill a base and no workers, the Mech player has now been able to push into the base here, almost kill this castle, kill an advanced workshop, and basically scare away all the armies of the Rax player. Because he has to be extremely careful how he attacks this. One catapult deals, at current, 63 damage, so if 3 hits hit an archer, it's dead. You have to be extremely careful with that. There's way more damage. Castle melted, soldier melted, post melted. They're slow firing, and we can see that Epic is trying to surround here. Attacking as they retreat, but since he's moving this line, he's going to get hit by this flash of this guy's guy. This force is going to get knocked as he attacks for both things. Let's just see what Epic can do. You see that, again, each catapult shot is able to kill 2 sometimes 3 enemies. So against a mech player, you really need to invest in slowly increase your meters, just so you can try to keep with Meanwhile, we do see expansions trying to come out, of course, right now 59 is the population. That's once again switch from both sides. Catapults just deal so much damage. Pretty sure I just saw one that had 9 kills, is that? 9 kills on this catapult. Each kill was archers, so it's almost 1,000 gold worth. Or some might have been workers rather. You can see more of the base just melting away here, while he's able to safely expand because Epic can't do anything to counter this. Just looking at income for a moment, it's currently 6,000 lost to 9,500 lost. And now we can see that the income has definitely appeared in favor of Rynus, who's now able to safely expand into that one control. You can see he's raiding 150 mines, still mining for EpicPants. And it was all because he was able to get that critical mass catapult here, and Rynus didn't have a solution to it, especially with the workers there. And now he's starting to get various damage upgrades. He's about to get another extra 10 damage upgrades in this spot. A possible thing that Epic could have done would be going through with airships and dropping 2 mages at each mine. 2 fireballs can kill the entire line of workers in all these places. Sure, it does seem to be anything about this army that's over here, but it means that Rynus can't replace it, because now we're 18 minutes into the game at 65 pops to 33. So really, for anyone trying to play against Mech, try to win that early game. Try to be super aggressive and deny them the ability to have that game. whether it's from doing drops or just trying to kill workers whenever possible. I'm really folks that try to take small engagements as well. You can see another castle going down here. And right now, 38 workers to 17, and he has more catapults than EpicPants has 12 units. It's just a recipe for disasters, and it's hard to be back from that. The castle does go down, and he's going to continue to be able to push. And that was all because of this main exchange down here. Wasn't able to trade out. I do think that having some kind of tech up would have helped. I think definitely mages would have been the better of the options. But you can also go invisible raiders with Shroud. Shroud actually prevents the enemy from firing at range. So you can cast that into the giant ball of catapults, and all of a sudden they're forced to counter hits. Now again, maybe 4 or 5 of the raiders, and the Shroud can completely wipe out any chance of firing those catapult volleys, or at least anything beyond a melee. And he is going to have to retreat. He's still not able to bring the numbers back up. Meanwhile, we have 6 workshops still pumping out units. Going back to upgrades, it's +3 attack versus +4 attack, giving the catapults +15. And GG is called at 1953. So the big takeaways here are you want to play defensive as a mech player, do some harassments with either drops of catapults or gyrocraft run-bys, but you don't want to take a full engagement and want to try to just defend and build up your bases and your economy. After you have your infrastructure down, try to go for a decent amount of catapults, and that's a pretty hard ball to try to kill. Meanwhile, if you are the Rax player, you want to try to deny the enemy. You want to try to deny the economy and constantly whittle down the army so it doesn't reach that critical mass. Well, I think that's it for today, guys. I'm going to include the link to the tournament sign-up. I'm going to try to get everyone's replays as they take it. Right now I'm planning on it being either the Saturday or the Sunday of the week of the 7th of March. And that's it for today, guys. If you liked the video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.